Good. Good? Okay, all right. So obviously a little bit of an unusual week for us here with the holiday yesterday, so a little bit of a busy day here for us today. So kind of trying to cram everything in the best we can. Big week for us, Green Bay, obviously going up there, coming off, they had an exciting win, big win for them down with the Jets. And, it looks like obviously offensively they're operating on all cylinders. Quarterback played really well. Jamal Williams in there at the running back position, handled the majority of the snaps, was able to kind of get that run game going with the stretch and zone system that they have in place with Coach Philbin, keeping that in a very productive manner. Devontae Adams, obviously a great player for him. Cobb, see where he's at as far as this week's availability, but we know how dynamic he is. Valdez Scantling and, just a really good young core of wide receivers that I think they've been able to kind of capitalize on. So offensively, I think, still very dynamic, very explosive, as we saw last week. Group, one that can score, obviously very quickly here in critical situations. So we've got a lot of work for us cut out there. Defensively, we've had a couple moving parts here defensively, but I think, still productive. The front, a couple new players inside here. That have developed through the course of the year, Lancaster and Lowry, that have done a really good job. Clark going on IR, so I think those guys have stepped in, played really well. Fundamentally, Clay Matthews obviously is an outstanding player on the edge. We have to deal with him. And then really, Martinez in the middle, just a really good productive linebacker for him. I think he's doing a great job kind of handling the front and the adjustments and, making a lot of plays. So still a very talented team. I got a lot, obviously played real well last weekend, and we got a big challenge in front of us going up there. So we got a lot of work to do. Got to get to work here and get going. So what do we got?
Matt, are you still working through the medicals on the 3 guys that left the game that didn't come back, or do you have any update on their status?
Yeah, no update right now. We'll kind of just let the injury report through the course of the week handle all that.
Have you been told by management yet whether you'll definitely be back for 2019?
I'm pretty confident everything, for me right now is just keep moving forward and getting ready for the game this weekend. And, I meet with Mrs. Ford every week. So, they've been great. Her and her family have been great. So.
Coach, haven't you run out of time to work on these things? I mean, here we were on the last week.
Have I run on what time? Out of time for?
You talked about, you still want to work hard and move towards, success, but
sure.
Haven't we run out of time for that this year?
No, we got a huge game this weekend, right? So we got to get ready to go this weekend. We got a lot to work on and improve on, and make sure that any of those plays that came up last week that weren't that good enough, that we get those right and get those fixed, and we keep going. This is a very competitive, business. I think Green Bay, obviously, we go up there. We got a huge challenge in front of us. So the time is right now. That's the great part about it, is the time is right now to go out and improve and get better, and that's what we got to do.
Well, go ahead, Dave.
Well, I just want to follow up on what Mike asked. Just specifically, what have you been told then about 2019?
You know what? Really, I'm going to kind of keep everything just kind of, in-house as far as all that's concerned. I think, again, we'll just push forward for Green Bay right now. I want to keep the topic of Green Bay. That'd be great.
I want to ask about your offensive coordinator position too. What do you need from that position going forward to be a better offense?
You know what? I mean, I think for a team right now, all of us are just trying to work harder to, just do a better job, and hopefully, we can get that done this weekend. From special teams to offense to defense. I think all of us have areas where we can improve on and get better, and certainly as a head coach I can, and the coordinators and their positions and special teams, I got to keep pushing that along too. So we're just again trying to eliminate some of the mistakes that have been made here the last couple of weeks, which have cost us in some really close, tough situations, and again just. Try to do everything we can to try to get a win.
But specifically at that spot, I mean, do we need better play calling? What is it that you need out of that position?
I think we've talked about all year, the games themselves. There's a lot of different situations, whether it's, the plays, the execution, all of it. We obviously we can do a better job of just trying to get ourselves in a situation to win. So, again, it's been different with each particular game or each particular situation. And, for us, it's just continuing to get better.
I don't know if you saw Aaron Rodgers was asked after the game, why he continues to play, why he wants to play. He talked about being a competitor, the pride he has, and not wanting to let down his teammates. Matthew has made kind of those same comments last week, and I'm assuming he'll make them tomorrow as well. Just what does that mean to have a leader like that, a guy that wants to put himself on the line, even though obviously playoffs are out of the question or something like that? What does it mean for the team as a whole?
I mean, I think it's exactly what it is. I mean, this is we get to play the game of football, and every opportunity you get to go play. If you can and you're able to go out and play, that you want to go do that. You want to go compete. I think again, big picture, there are things here that obviously we'd like to be in different situation, but for this week, what's important for us is trying to go play well against the Packers, and I think for all of us in that room and players and coaches that are going to work endless hours this week to try to put together a good game plan to go compete and go play hard. That's what's important to all of us, and it's definitely a situation where we don't want to let anybody down in that room. We all want to kind of stick together and pull together and give ourselves a chance to go win. So I think it's great. I think that's what football is. I mean, it's not always easy. It's a hard game. It's supposed to be. It teaches a lot of great life lessons, and that's the important part of this game. And I think it's one of the only games that still teaches all that stuff. And I think these are great life lessons right here. And things aren't necessarily going your way. You go back to work and you work hard and you try to figure it out. I think that's great.
Some of your players on Sunday after the loss said they felt changes needed to happen. And do you feel like changes need to happen before next season within this organization?
I think for us, we'll evaluate all this stuff after the season. I think that message has been consistent all year long. I think the message for us right now is Green Bay. I mean, we got a lot to work to get ready for this week and a lot of improvement. And, obviously we need to do better than what we did last week. So I would say those immediate changes are the ones that we got to get done this week. That's the biggest thing that we got to focus on.
Anything else? How was your Christmas?
Great. It was good. All right.
Is there any specific delay for today?
No, just busy. I mean, obviously the scramble from yesterday, I apologize. I didn't mean to keep everybody waiting there. Just a couple of meetings and things like that, just trying to cram into a short span. So no particular.
For a second, if that's okay. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. How important is punctuality as far as when it comes to being a head coach? How important is punctuality?
I think it just depends on the situation, really. It depends. I mean, there's a pretty busy schedule from those situations, I think, for everybody. I think fluidity is probably the best answer for you. I think it's we definitely, in the game of football, you have to be able to adapt. And I think that's a great kind of, important kind of way to just be able to handle all the situations that come up. Just kind of be fluid in all of them. I meet with Ms. Ford every week. So, yeah. Yeah, today. Yep. All good. Okay.